in charge. You did a good job. Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing good. If you are new here, what's up? My name is TheShaiLife. I do a lot of beauty over here, little fashion, little lifestyle, little vlogs. So if that seems like your vibe, make sure you subscribe. So today we are doing a full face of SAIE Beauty. I'm so excited. I have already had a little play around with the products on TikTok. Make sure you guys are following me there. Because I do post on there too. But yeah, I thought I'd bring it to YouTube because when I did do my little searches on YouTube, I didn't see a lot of like darker skin women trying out SAIE. So I was like, you know what, let me get my video up there and help the girls out. If you guys are thinking of trying SAIE, you're not really sure the shades, I can share with you guys what I use. So let's get into it. So SAIE was actually kind enough to send me some hits in PR. So let's get into it. So before we do anything, let's just prime the face. I've been loving my Fenty hydrating primer, so we're gonna go ahead with that. I'm not gonna put on too much because just off the bat, like just telling you guys, SAIE's products are very hydrating in general, so I don't need to do too much of this, but just to make sure, you know, the makeup stays on the face, we're gonna do a little bit of this. So if you guys don't know about SAIE, it's a clean makeup brand, so everything is pretty much like clean makeup. I would say the aesthetic is very like simple, glass skin, very no makeup vibe, but I'm gonna apply it kind of like how I would usually apply my makeup. So yeah, I did purchase the sun melt bronzers. As always, I'm always gonna give my honest opinions, and just like any other makeup video you guys see me post on here, we're gonna keep it real. So let me just apply that primer. I hope my brows don't look too thick today, because I feel like I did them really dark, but it is what it is. And please excuse my hair if it's not cooperating because I need to wash my hair now. I've had this in store since Valentine's Day and we need to wash and refresh. So the first product we're going to use is the Super Glowy Gel. They sent me the shade Star Glow. I am aware now that they do have a darker shade, like a more like warm golden shade. If I can get a picture, I'll put it up here. So gorgeous. I wish I got that one, but this one is still very pretty. So this is what she looks like. I'm just going to shake it up and I'm just going to pump it on the back of my hand. So that's how she looks. Show you guys kind of how the consistency is. So I'm just going to apply that, and I do like, even though it is kind of a lighter illuminator for my skin tone, it still really gives that illumination, and it, you know, doesn't give me like a cast, because I was a bit nervous like, oh, this might make me look ashy, but once you blend this in, it actually isn't too bad. Well, obviously I think I would prefer to have the second shade, but this still will do the job. So I'm just gonna rub that in. I'm sure you guys can already see the difference. Like, you can see the glow. I wish it was a little bit more warmer again, but it still does the job, and we are gonna put our skin tint on top of this, so not too bad. Let's move on. This is the tinted moisturizer with an SPF, I believe 35 sunscreen. So I have this in the shade 9.5. So this is how she looks. Very nice, and you actually get 40 mils in here, which is very good, because usually for like skin tints, foundations, tinted moisturizers, you get like 25-30. So 40 is incredible. So it does say it's an active ingredient, zinc oxide, and it also has the expiry and everything for external use only, and it has all the, you know, warnings. Then it says apply generously as the last step of your skincare routine and 15 minutes before sun exposure. This definitely has active sunscreen ingredients. You know how sometimes you have foundation that say they have SPF and it's only a little bit? I definitely think this actually has sunscreen in it, which will actually help protect you from the sun, which is amazing. So I am gonna like squeeze it a bit, because when I first opened it I felt like I got like a bit of oil out and no product, and I feel like it's because maybe it's separated in there. So I'm just gonna give it a bit of a squeeze and get all the product like together, and then we're going to pump it out. But I do love that it has like a lid, and then I'm gonna do a pump So this is the shade. I think it's a really good shade for me. And apply this, and I'm just going to apply it with my finger and then use a brush to blend it out. So I'm just going to use my finger and just apply her all over. And you guys see me looking here, it's because my mirror is literally on this side. And it does have a thickness to it, and you can actually smell the sunscreen. Like, you can smell it. It's not like a fragrance, like you can smell. It's either the sunscreen or whatever they use to like make the product. It's a very subtle scent though. It's nothing huge, but you can smell. So just gonna blend this out. I'm just gonna use this like foundation brush that I got from Amazon. If you guys want me, I'll probably link it anyway, but I will be doing an Amazon haul soon because girl, I've been really contributing to Jeff Bezos and his pockets for real, and I need to calm down. I need to calm down. But yeah, let's blend this in. So it blends in very easily and very nicely. Definitely gives the skin a nice finish. It's not super glowy, but I feel like it does have a good amount of moisture. I do feel like I have to apply a little bit more though. I'm going to go on my hand because I do have a little bit left. Really good shade match. I don't think that's bad at all. And like, considering someone else picked it for me, whoever was in charge of my PR, you did a good job. You did a great job, to be honest. Like, literally, I don't think I could have got a better match myself. So I'm gonna continue blending this in. Okay guys, so that is the face. Couldn't have got a perfect match if I tried. Like, this is so good. It's very much flawless, and it does have coverage, because you know some skin tints it's like very low coverage. This has very good coverage. I did build it up. I would say I did like 4 pumps, but like, it's not like when you pump the skin tint, it's not like a big amount comes out. So I did 4 pumps, which I think is pretty good, and I feel like it covered any dark marks I had. I mean, I could still see the one in the middle of my forehead, but it's not that bad. But I absolutely love it. It looks very flawless. I am looking very glowy, and I think that's to do with the illuminator, but also I do feel like the skin tint has a bit of like a, not a dewy finish, but like a glowy finish to it. So I think it's just giving double glow. So yeah, I absolutely love the finish. I think it's very pretty, very light as well, doesn't feel heavy, and I love that it has SPF in it, because it's like, wearing makeup and protecting the skin, we love it. So now I'm going to move on to the rest of the face, but I'm going to throw on my lashes real quick, so I'll be back in a second. Let's get into some concealer. So SAIE just recently dropped these Hydra Beam concealers. They are brightening, hydrating under eye concealers. You get 6 milliliters, and they sent me 7.5 and 8. Now these are darker than I usually go. You guys know I love a good bright under eye. They look quite close in color. They're only, I think, 1 shade or 2 shades. Yeah, one's 7.5 and one's 8, so like half a shade difference. So we're gonna go with the lightest one, just because this is the lightest one we have. This is how the doe foot comes. It's very small. It kind of reminds me like a lip gloss. And so far, it's very like lightweight. Like, it doesn't feel heavy at all. I wish I would have got this in a lighter shade, so I could really like experience how I like to wear my makeup and doing it, but it is super lightweight, very hydrating, as you guys can see. But yeah, do my nose a little bit and my forehead. So I'm just gonna blend this out. It's been sitting for a little bit now, and we're going to blend this out. I'm just gonna use a little brush. I usually would use a beauty blender, but because this is so like lightweight, I just feel like a beauty blender would take too much of the product up. So I'm just gonna use a brush to get as much coverage as I can, and also give me a nice smooth blend. So I'm just gonna like tap down, just blend it in. It's a very like, I wouldn't say it's close to my skin tone, because it's definitely a highlight, but it's definitely much more calmer than I'm used to. So I'm just kind of tapping down, and this is like a very nice like natural look kind of product, but I would still prefer it to be a little bit more brighter. It doesn't give me much of a lift to my face. It kind of just balances me out, if you get what I mean. It doesn't give me like a lifted vibe. don't have to be too. But yeah, the concealer is a very like natural finish concealer. It's definitely hydrating. So I am going to go in for brighter concealer just for me. My really bright concealer, this is in Tan Neutral. It's by ELF. And I'm just going to use a little bit just in the middle. So I'm just going to use the same brush and just use a tapping motion. And let's see how this blends out with this concealer as well. Let's see if it blends out nicely or if it's going to give us an issue. So far, I think it's doing good. Oh, yeah, it's very nice actually. They blend together very well. As bright as that concealer was, it actually gives it a softer look, which actually is nice. I'm actually going to look into getting the SAIE in the lighter shade, because I think if I did get in the lighter shade I wouldn't have to mix. I think I'd still get this kind of finish. But let's get into bronzer before we mattify and set the face. And we're going to be using 2 shades. So I picked these up from Cult Beauty. These are the Sunmelt bronzers. These are the shade Deep and Dark Bronze. So this is how they look. Very nice, sleek, black packaging. And these are the shades. This is Deep Bronze. This is Dark Bronze. This is Deep Bronze. I feel like this is more of a true bronzer. It has that red deep undertone and it really gives you like the nice sun-kissed warmth. And that one is the second darkest. This is Dark Bronze. Dark Bronze. And I feel like this is more cooler. Can give a bit more of a contour, but really is going to give you the depth that you may want. That right there is Dark Bronze. So it's much more, it's not as deep as it looks in the pan. So I'm going to do Deep Bronze, Dark Bronze, and then mix them because I prefer to use them mixed. So to apply the bronzer, I'm actually going to use this fluffy brush from SAIE. I feel like this would be a good like powder brush, but I decided to use it for bronzer. So I'm going to go with the lighter shade first, which is the Deep Bronze on this side. So you guys can kind of see the difference. So I'm just going to kind of mark it out and then I will worry about blending it later. But I just want you to kind of see the color of it before I go in and do any blending. So as you can see, it's very warm. So that is how the deep looks. Do the same thing really. Okay, so I think this is a good look at both the shades. So this is the Dark Bronze, this is the Deep Bronze. This is going to give more warm, sun-kissed vibes, and this gives more contour but still bronze. For me, I like to just mix them both. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend and kind of like even them out. But hopefully that's a good look at both shades and kind of what they will give you. So depending on what you like, if you want something cooler, you would go for this. If you want something warmer, go for this. I'm just going to start on this side. And you guys are going to see how quickly it disappears. Like it blends so good, like it's kind of insane how good it blends. I just use my foundation brush, but do you see that it literally doesn't take 2 minutes to blend out? I haven't added any more products. I'm just gonna go ahead and go in. I'm gonna use a little bit more of my Deep Bronze just to warm this side up a bit and blend. I just feel like it's so much lighter and just so much more like, it's just a more lighter and fresher look than my other makeup. Let me finish blending this and then I will come back and we can work with the powders. Okay guys, so I did a little bit more blending. I'm absolutely loving how my skin looks. Like it just looks so good. I'm excited to see the finished look. Yeah. So let's get into setting this under eye before she creases out. I feel like she's creasing a little bit and that's just because she's hydrating, so you gotta go in with the powder first. So the powder that they sent me was actually Translucent Deep, which is more of like a face setting powder, but I will show you it quickly and I probably might use that later on in the video. This is how the powder looks, very nice. And it's just like a brown deep type of powder. That's all I can explain it to you. Yeah, I think you guys can see a bit more now. This is the powder. How it looks. So it's kind of just like a translucent deep powder. I think I'm going to use my hitter today. I'm going to use both of them actually. I'm going to use both of them. So I'm going to use Kunafa first and then I'm going to use banana bread. Whoa. I'm going to use banana bread with my powder puff. Just make sure there's no like creasing. Everything blended out really well because obviously it has been a second since I blended it, so yeah. I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake in Kunafa and just start to set this baby. And I always just use little bits of powder first, like I literally tap off a lot of excess, because I just feel like the less powder that you can apply, the better. I just feel like too much powder looks not cakey, but like too much powder just looks like too much powder, do you know what I mean? I'm gonna set nicely. And I'm also going to use a little bit of my forehead in the middle, where we also put concealer. Mattify up there. Okay, so that's how my under eyes look with just setting with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake. I'm going to go in for another layer of powder, but let's finish off the rest of the face. I'm loving it so far. I think it even looks gorgeous with the powder. Like, it still looks glowy. Like, obsessed. Okay, so for bronzer, I don't think they actually have a powder bronzer, but I'm going to go in with powder bronzer because I just feel like I need to set it a bit. So today I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the dark bronzer, I believe. Yes. We're going to use her because I haven't been using her and she's my most expensive bronzer. So let's get my money's worth, please. So I'm just going to kind of tap that on where I put bronzer. And I noticed that when I first used this, I wasn't in love with it, but I will say it works well when you can pick it up really good. Like, this brush picks it up really good, and also when you've done a good like bronzer contour before, when you've done a good bronzer or contour underneath, it really works. So yeah, look at that, look at that, look at that. I look very bronzed today, but I love it. So now that that's done, I am going to go now with my powder puff. And I don't know if I've mentioned to you guys that I've been loving using my powder puff. Very good TikTok influence. Like, I love it. So I'm going to use this with the Huda Beauty powder again, but the shade up, which is banana bread. Just going to kind of tap in. I just realised I haven't really contoured my nose and I want to, so before I finish off with this powder, let me quickly contour my nose. I like definition on my nose. Like, whenever I don't contour my nose, I always not regret it, but I just feel like it just gives me a little bit of definition because I don't have a defined structure of my nose. Just for like nose contouring, like for me, balances out my face. Let's finish setting. I'm just set. Oh, that was a lot of powder. Okay, let's just tap that in. Ooh, I just think it makes it look even more flawless, to be honest. I think that just made me look extra flawless. Like, the face is coming together. Okay, I'm gonna use Old Favorites, my NYX Almost Famous blush. I used to love this stuff, so I'm just gonna pop her on the cheeks. I'm trying to move fast because I don't want this to dry down like too quickly. So we're gonna use the translucent face powder. We'll use a huge powder brush. I'm just gonna use it to set my face. So I'm going to use the translucent deep and set everywhere else on my face, because overall I feel like these products are quite glowy, so I do feel like I need a face powder just to keep everything kind of at bay. So yeah, I'm going to quickly set my face now. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Spray. Okay, so I've decided I want to do a little bit of eyeshadow. I don't know, I feel like my looks lately have been giving real boring, and even though it's like realistic to what I usually do, I just feel like a little colour. So I'm going to go into my Huda Empowered palette and I'm just going to play about with some of these mattes and oranges. Literally, I'm using Legacy and Confident. crease area, and then I'll probably do like a nice like light matte in my lid. I don't know, I just feel like I need a little sum up here. It was giving boring. I'm gonna use Big Dreams. Which is this cool tone. Okay, let's go on to lip action. What did I say I was gonna use today? This is the finished look, full face of SAIE Beauty. Of course, I did use a few other products, so my e.l.f. concealer, my blush is different and my lips are different, but most of this face is SAIE Beauty, and I have to say I really like how my face looks. Overall, quick wrap up of everything I used. The super glowy illuminator, very nice. Just wish I had it in the shade that would be more suitable for my skin. The skin tint, the slip tint, very nice shade match. Very excited about that. Like, I literally perfect shade match. The concealers, gorge. Love how it hydrated my under eyes. Like, love it. I don't have any concealer in my collection that works like that. So nice. Wish I had it in a lighter shade, because I think I would be able to get a proper reveal of the concealer on its own, but because I did mix it, that can kind of make me a bit biased. But I do actually like how it mixed with my concealer, because that concealer, this e.l.f. one, is a matte concealer, and it blended in like a dream. It just looks seamless, so I love that. And then the bronzers, which are my absolute favorite, I love using them together. Separately they work well depending on what the vibe you want, but I do love using them together. They give the skin a very nice glow. It's very beautiful. But yeah, I guess I'll wrap up the end of today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give a nice thumbs up. If you have any opinions or questions about anything I used, make sure you comment down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.